Yes, guys. So we actually continue from where we ended. And remember, we are just from discussing about authentication and cryptography, and where we started by looking at authentication and its importance and the different types of authentication. So from where we ended, we proceed by looking at practical applications. So we proceed by looking at practical applications. So under practical application here, we are saying that authentication and cryptography are used to extensively in various new world applications to secure information and system. So here we are looking at practical applications. We are looking at the practical applications where we are saying that authentication and cryptography are used extensively in various real-world applications to secure information and system. So now let's start by looking at secure communication. So we start by looking at secure communication. So under secure communication, here we are saying that encryption algorithms. So encryptions algorithms like SSL stroke TLS use in cryptography to secure data in transit. So in order to secure the data that is in transit, in encryption algorithms, they use SSL and TLS to use in cryptography to secure data in transit, ensuring that data exchange between a user and a website or between two systems is confidential and cannot be intercepted. So in order to ensure that the data which is in transit cannot be intercepted, the encryption algorithms such as SSL and TLS, they use in cryptography to use data. So you use encryption algorithms in order to secure the data that is in transit, okay, which is moving or in exchange between users and websites and between two systems, and this data cannot be intercepted because of the encryption algorithms, which are SSL and TLS. And then we also have the access, we also have another factor which is called the access control. So now when you talk of the access control here, we are mainly emphasizing on authentication. So here on the access point, we are emphasizing on authentication. So we're saying authentication is the basis for control. Authentication is the basis for access control. So what does this mean? So we're saying that system use authentication to determine whether a user should be granted access to specific resources such as files, application, or network services. So here we're saying that on the access control, we are emphasizing and saying that authentication is the basis for access control. So here we are saying system use authentication to determine whether a user should be granted access to specific resources. So the system will use authentication to determine whether a user should be granted access to the specific resource, such as files, applications, or network services. So that's the aspect of access control. And then we also have financial transaction. So we also have another aspect of which is financial transaction. So here, financial transaction mainly focuses on online banking and e-commerce. So here we're saying that financial transaction mainly focuses on online banking and e-commerce, relying on authentication and encryption. So online banking and e-commerce, they rely on authentication and encryption to protect the sensitive finances, our financial transaction and personal information. So the online banking and e-commerce, they use encryption to protect the sensitive financial transactions and personal information. And then apart from that, there is also an aspect of identity verification. So there is also an aspect of identity verification. So here, under identity verification, here we focuses on the passport control. We focuses on the passport control, immigration, import security, use biometric and authentication methods to verify the identity of travelers and prevent unauthorized access. So identity verification mainly it focuses on passport control, immigration, airport security, use biometric and authentication methods to verify the identity of travelers and prevent unauthorized access. So they are using biometric. Now, when you talk about biometric kind of authentication, we talked about it. It can be somebody using the fingerprint. Somebody can also use the iris of the eye, and then they can also use the facial expression and so on and so forth. So this is what is commonly used at the airport for security purposes. And then there is also healthcare. Now, we're looking at practical applications here. So we're looking at practical applications here that we can use to authenticate the data or the information. So we are on healthcare. So here, under healthcare institutes. So healthcare institutes use authentication and encryption to protect electronic health records. So in order to protect electronic health records, the data is encrypted for confidentiality purposes, for confidentiality purposes. So the data is actually encrypted. So healthcare, here we're saying that healthcare institutes or institutions use authentication and encryption. So they are using authentication. Authentication can be the aspect of password, can be the aspect of biometric, can be the aspect of using questions, can be the aspect of using keys, tokens, smart cards, and so on and so forth. So all these are used in healthcare to provide the confidentiality of the information it can be between the nurses and the patients. It can be between the doctor and the patient. It can be between anyone, So the data that can be sent to the patient can be also it's confidential. So it has to be encrypted maybe by the use of a password or encryption. Because when you talk of encryption, this is just the process of converting data into unreadable ciphertext. So when you convert data into unreadable ciphertext, meaning you bring an aspect of encryption, and then in order to decrypt the data of the information, a special appropriate key must be used. Okay, so yeah, that is just part of the healthcare. Now let us also look at remote access. Remote access, meaning by remote access can be where you involve the aspect of the VPN, which is virtual private network. So let's look at remote access. So under remote access, we are saying that the VPN, so virtual private network, use authentication. So the virtual private network use authentication and encryption to secure remote access to corporate network, allowing employees to work securely from remote locations. Yeah, definitely, that's just one. And then we also have we also have IoT security. So authentication and cryptography play a critical role in securing Internet of Things devices, ensuring that only authorized users can access, can control or access connected devices. And then we also have government and military. We also have government and military. So remember, we're still looking at practical applications that are used in various institutions to provide the remedies by protecting the data and the information. So we are on government and military. So here on government and military, we are saying that government and military organizations uses strong authentication and encryption to protect sensitive information, communication, and national security. So in order to protect national security, sensitive information and communication, the government and military organization, they use strong authentication and encryption. Now, what it means by using strong authentication can be they use a strong password. And any strong password must involve the aspect of using uppercase characters. It must involve the aspect of using lowercase characters. It must involve the aspect of using special characters, and then it also must involve the aspect of using numbers. So these four outline a strong password. So a strong password is made out of strong characters, which are upper characters, and then there's also lower characters, strong special characters, and also numbers. Okay, so that's what is involved when they say they use strong authentication. And then there's also an aspect of encryption in order to protect the information and national security. So encryption brings an aspect of changing the data into unreadable ciphertext. So here they are able to encrypt the data. They are able to encrypt the information. Okay, they convert them. It depends with the kind of software that they're using. So you can also encrypt the data by the use of the software. Maybe you install encrypt part can also help you. Encrypt part, that if you want to protect the data that is within the system but if you want to transfer if you want to transfer the data which is encrypted, you can also install 7-zip or with 7-zip software, which you can actually encrypt the data and then send it to another person. That's how it works. Okay. Yeah, that is just government and military. So, like I've said, we are still looking at practical applications that can actually be used to protect the data and the information within the organizations. So let's look at the email security. Okay, let us also talk about the email security. Okay, so when you talk of the email security, here we're saying that email encryption and digital signatures use cryptography to verify the authenticity of email and protects their content from overlapping. Yeah, so you can still, provide authenticity to your email and encrypt the information within there. So apart from the email security, we have smart cards in access control. We have smart cards in access control. Okay, so which is also, we talked about smart cards. So here we're saying that smart cards are used in physical access control system to restrict entry to secure areas. So like maybe there are certain areas where not everyone can actually access the place or the system. So they have put these smart cards. So the only person that can access those areas is with the person with the smart card. Yeah, that's how it works. So yeah, definitely. And then there's also, such maybe data center, government buildings. So when you talk about government building, there's some government building where you can't access certain places because you need to use the smart cards. That's how it works. And then there's also some corporate offices where you can't access these places because you don't have these smart cards. That's one way of protecting the system, guys. And yeah, that's how it works. And then in conclusion, or in a nutshell, we are saying that authentication methods and cryptography are foundational elements of computer security. They are employed in a wide range of applications to identify identities, secure communication, protect data, and control access to resources, ultimately ensuring the confidentiality and integrity of information in various contexts. So in order to ensure security in various contexts where you are protecting data against unauthorized access, the aspect of using authentication and cryptography or encryption actually help an important law in an organization. This is the reason why we're saying that it is very much important to study also cybersecurity. It plays an important role in the delivery of protecting the data and the information, because you began to learn, you learn a lot in this course. That's how it works. I hope you guys have actually enjoyed the video. And remember, just like university, we are there to deliver a quality education, because we believe that when people are educated, they are able to think better and apply innovation into the way of doing things. I wish you all the best, guys. Remember, we have just covered Unit 2. So don't miss the next video where we're going to cover Unit 3 in cyber security. Thank you, guys. Bye. Wish you the best, guys. Thank you very much. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, guys. Okay.